of someone's mount is obviously never a good thing, but this next escape, the elbow and knee escape, is so powerful that it highly increases the chances that you'll be able to get out. Let's have a look at how to do it properly. So the very first thing is, this technique works when my partner's hips are closer to mine. It's not going to work if he's in a high mount. If he's in a high mount, I have to push down with my elbows as hard as I can and wiggle my head so that I'm back in a position with his hips far away from my chest. And now this technique relies, the most important detail, it relies on getting my elbow between his knee and my body. If I cannot get at least one elbow between his knee and my body, this escape will not work, and in fact pretty much any mount escape will not work. So I need to get my elbow on the inside. Now the problem is, especially if a guy is squeezing his knees together quite tight, it's very difficult to get your elbow in there. It's just not going to fit. So we have a little trick to be able to get our elbow in, and that is we're going to throw our head away from the side that we want to get our elbow in. So I want to get my right elbow in now, so I'm going to throw my head to the left. Alright, what that's done is create a little bit of space here. And then the next detail is I'm going to circle my elbow in. A tiny little movement like that, not a big open movement, it's that. Once I've done that, my elbow's in and I'm ready to start the escape. Now, the next thing I need to do is get onto my side. I have to be very careful when I do that, not to expose this arm to an arm lock. So I'm going to turn onto my side, but as I do that, I'll keep this elbow in tight. I turn onto my side. And now, the reason this is called the elbow to knee escape is because I want to bring my elbow and my knee closer together. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to snake my hips that way, away from my elbow. And that will prise Kevin's knees apart and give me space. And notice how my knee and elbow are coming close together now. Make sure you don't push with your hand. If you push with your hand here, you'll just peel it off. It's my hips that are doing the work. My elbow is just a brace that is allowing me to push my hips back and create this space. Now that I've created the space, my bottom leg, never the top one, the bottom one is going to thread through all the way till my foot comes out and I lock onto half guard. And now I just repeat the formula on the other side. This time you can actually use your hand on his knee, you don't need your elbow. So now I place my hand on his knee, push, snake my hips out, and then bring the other leg out to lock him in close guard. And this way you've gone from a terrible place, which is being at the bottom of the mount, to a reasonably strong place, which is a close guard, using this technique. The mount is another extremely powerful position, but just like with all the other good control positions, it's only really effective if you know how to use it properly. I'm going to show you guys a few of the details that I've picked up over the years that make it an effective place to attack from. Let's have a look. So the very, very first thing to keep in mind with the mount position is your feet should always be tucking in, almost cutting underneath your opponent's body. If you have your feet like this, a good opponent is going to snake out or trap your legs or get underneath and put you back into a half guard. So you constantly want those feet to be sliding in, tucking under the body. That's very, very important. The second thing that you always want to be doing is trying to move towards the high mount. There's different types of mount. The two main ones that we use are low mount, which is when I have my hips driving over my opponent's hips and I use my legs in a grapevine. This is a good place to be because it's very stable, but it's quite hard to attack from here. There's only one real attack from here, which is the Ezekiel. So I use this more for control. The mount that I'm looking to be in is high mount, which is sitting over my opponent's chest. So I always want to keep that in mind, that I'm moving higher and higher up towards the high mount. Over here, this is kind of no man's land. It's not a great place to be because my hips are directly over my opponent's hips. If she bridges up, it makes my body move a lot. So I want to move towards the high mount. If I'm here, if she bridges up, nothing happens. Her bridge is ineffective. The second or the third thing that I want to keep in mind is a lot of the attacks that I do require me to commit one of my hands. For example, let's say if I reach in here to do an arm bar and control the elbow, or I reach in here to control the collar, I'm committing one of my hands. And what that means is that the hand that's been committed is creating an opening on that same side, because I have no post to defend if my opponent tries to roll me into that quadrant over there. So if I commit a hand, I've got to always be aware that I am in danger of being rolled over to the side of the hand that's committed. So keeping that in mind, as I commit, I can do one of two things. I can start moving my weight to the opposite side, which will make it very, very difficult for my opponent to roll me that way. Or I can place a brace, the opposite hand, or my head on the same side to stop myself from being rolled that way as well. So always be aware of when you commit your hand, you can be rolled over. And the final principle that I want to share with you guys today is, remember that when you're attacking the mount, her arms are the basis of her defense. Now, she wants to keep her elbows in tight to stop me from attacking arm locks, like straight arm bars or Americanas.